Carroll, bringing it forward. Thompson's making the run. Carroll hangs on to it though. Still Davy Carroll. Could go all the way here. Oh, what a goal!
I don't know what it is that makes me love you so. I only know I never wanna let you go. 'Cause you started something, don't you see? That ever since we met you had a hold on me. It happens to be true. I only wanna be with you.
Hello, I'm Phil Catchpole and welcome to this week's episode of Ringing the Blues. On the show this week, we have all the action and reaction from Pompey and Fleetwood Town. Plus, we speak to Wycombe Wanderers fan Graham Deakin on Till Death Us Do Part. A special one this week, and make sure you stay tuned to the end because we've got a big reveal for you. But first, let's catch up with Uri in Mexico City for the full Liga One results.
We are ringing the blues from Mexico City. It's me, Uri. And here are the results for League One. Oxford United 2, Bristol Rovers 1, Bolton Wanderers 1, Carlisle United 3, Charlton Athletic 2, Blackpool 2, Cheltenham Town 1, Derby County 1, Exeter City 0, Barnsley 1, Fleetwood Town 1, Wycombe Wanderers 4, Leyton Orient 2, Reading 1, Peterborough United 2, Lincoln City 0, Portsmouth 2, Port Vale 0, Shrewsbury Town 1, Northampton Town 0, Stevenage 1, Wigan Athletic 0. So we are 7th in the ranking and climbing upstairs. And 3 of the 4 goals scored by the Chairboys were scored by loanies. A great team performance by everyone. So Chairboys Spanish this week, playing the loan market. Okay, let's go word by word. To play, jugar. Playing, jugando. Market, mercado. Market, mercado. Loan, préstamo. Loan, préstamo. From the Latin pre, advance, stamo, stare, to be. So, when you make a loan, you give a player in advance, wishing or hoping for the other to return it after the term is finished. So, préstamo, loan. So, the whole sentence reads, playing the loan market, jugando al mercado de los préstamos. That's it for today. Until next week, back to England with my amigo Filiberto Cachapollos. Adios.
Muchas gracias, Uri. Right then, Wycombe Wanderers, coast to coast, a week of many miles, and it started at Fratton Park. Here's what happened against Pompey. Welcome to Fratton Park. Wycombe Wanderers taking on Pompey in League One. I'm Phil Catchpole, delighted to be joined this evening on the road by Jack Grimmer. Jack, how are you?
I'm very well, mate. Thank you very much. Loved it so much on Saturday, I just had to come back all the way down to Pompey.
Combination of Farino and Vokes get the ball clear. Overhead kick by McCleary to Hanlon on the tip of the centre circle. Great strength. And then Scowen. That's a lovely ball by Scowen to McCleary. McCleary on the right wing. Wycombe on the counter. McCleary goes on the outside. Goes for goal. Just wide. Ball is going to be whipped in by Luke Leahy. Left-footed in swinging corner. Wycombe's first into the near post. Flicked on by Keogh. Yep. And it's there.
Get in!
It's Keogh who's flicked it on. Did Josh Scowen get a touch? Or presumably Gareth McCleary is on the phone to the EFL already. It doesn't matter who scored it. It's Wycombe Wanderers' goal. It's Pompey 0. Wycombe Wanderers 1. Into the box from Kamara. Lays it back and Bishop's there. They score. And Pompey have turned this possession and pressure into the equalising goal. Colby Bishop poking home from a tight angle on the left-hand side. He was found by Kamara. Strick with no chances. Pompey 1, Wycombe 1. Corner number 14 for Pompey in front of the front and end now. Sparks again. Going to hang a left-footed one in. He does so. Strick comes and it's there. Strick stays down. The referee points to the spot. And it's a goal to Pompey in injury time. Heartbreak for the Chairboys. Strick is still down. The referee's given the goal. It's Pompey 2, Wycombe 1. Heartbreaking stoppage time for the Chairboys.
I don't know if I can even say he's absolutely bottled. The Max is lying flat out on the ground.
We've had 10 minutes added on here. It was quite a long celebration for the goal, to be fair, but this will surely be Wycombe's last chance. There goes the whistle. Pompey has snatched it at the deaf ear at Fratton Park in what has been an absorbing game. Wycombe Wanderers led through Josh Scowen at half-time. A goal from their first corner of the game. Pompey equalised through Colby Bishop from open play. And then it was their 14th corner that saw their winner in the 96th minute of this one. Connor Shaughnessy heading home, putting pressure on the keeper, Max Strick, who goes straight to the officials after the game. And Wycombe Wanderers, that's heartbreaking, Jack. How does the team, or how will they be feeling now after that?
I think they're honestly feeling so hard done by, and I know based on stats and possession, but you know, maybe Pompey were better in a few things, but they just weren't purposeful with the ball. And I think we, maybe not so much in the second half, I think in the first half, you know, I'm even annoyed myself, but it's just frustrating because I felt like we'd done enough to hold on for a point, and especially when you feel hard done by like that, I think the referee, you can see straight away, doesn't want anybody around him because he's nervous, he's made the mistake. But you know, it's a tough place to come, and I thought the boys stood up to the challenge well. For all Pompey's play, they never really looked like scoring. There's plenty of shots, but maybe one or two on target up until that moment. You know, the only thing you can do now is go again on Saturday. Up to Fleetwood, put it right, and going into the international break is get the 3 points that you feel like you deserve.
Gaffer, heartbreak at the end there after a very dogged and determined performance from Wycombe Wanderers.
Yeah, extreme heartbreak to concede in the manner that we did. We're very angry. I was so proud of the performance that the boys put in tonight. I felt like we still carried a threat, even in the second half when maybe you expected Portsmouth to be in the ascendancy, and they were at times, but we saw that out. Really disappointed with the conceded goal at the end, and really frustrated for the supporters who come and give us their backing, for the players who put so much in, for the staff who prepare for games like that. But unfortunately, for the second away game in a row, the decisions are going against us, and it doesn't feel fair.
You feel that was an unjust goal in injury time?
Absolutely, it's a foul on the goalkeeper. The corner gets put in the box, Maxi goes to catch it, and it's a clear foul on him. The defender from the opposition jumps into him, takes his arm away so he can't catch the ball, doesn't make any contact with the ball, so it's just extremely frustrating. It's hard to put it into words. I'm angry, I'm disappointed, I'm frustrated, but I'm also proud of the players. For the second time in a row we've gone to an away ground and put on a display, maybe not as free-flowing as what we were at Charlton's second half 2 weeks ago, but I'm extremely proud of what they're doing at the moment, and they should be proud of themselves.
It was a very different display from Adams Park on Saturday, but you knew that coming into this game, and so much to be proud of, especially in that second half performance.
Yeah, we challenged the boys before the game, and they've challenged themselves. We knew that we were coming up against a very good Portsmouth team, and we knew the respect we had to pay them. But you know, we're confident in what we're building, and we're confident in the players we've got, and we're proud of what we've got in our changing room. We know we've got some good players in there. We know we've got a good team that's developing in a good squad. So we were looking forward to this game. We really wanted to come here and show our best selves, and to a degree I thought we did that at times tonight. We could have obviously been better in ourselves, and we have to look at that first and foremost. We can't hide behind just decisions, but when something's so big and so unjust goes against you at the end, it's hard to see past that at this moment in time.
first half performance was the classic away performance, quieting the crowd down with a very good goal from a set piece.
Yeah, I think we could have actually carried more of a threat with our quality in the final third at times. It looked like we really wanted to rush and go and get that finish rather than building our attacks, and as a result the game became a little bit end to end. And obviously I thought that second half we actually changed shape slightly and secured the wide positions a little bit better, and we built a couple of attacks. Obviously it's a good ball in. Dalo got across the front for one, and then one was cleared out for a corner that was also given as a goal kick. There was a stamp on Joshy right in front of the dugouts that 4 officials managed to miss that as well. So a decent away performance. We have to look at ourselves and we want to be better at all times, but unfortunately big decisions are going against us at this moment in time.
And 10 games in, able to announce an unchanged team as well from Saturday as well.
Yeah, I felt like it's always a tough one to balance out when you've got a busy 3-game week, but the way the players played on Saturday, especially in the first half against 11 men, we were really proud of what they did, and the cohesion between that group. We felt that they deserved to go again on a Tuesday night to build themselves into another performance. So it was nice to be able to do that 10 games in, and we'll have to look at the bodies, count the heads on before the weekend, see what knocks we've picked up, and make sure we pick ourselves up, because we've now got an opportunity to go to Fleetwood. We want to go and get some points. We have to take our medicine, as we always do, and make sure we move on very quickly.
I was going to say the very nature of League One, and it's a long old journey, isn't it, up there, but plenty of time then to have a look at today and prepare for Saturday. Yeah,
as always, we'll watch it back with unemotional eyes, and we'll watch it tomorrow and make sure that we analyse everything that we did right and everything we want to put right before the weekend, because there's no time to sit around and feel sorry for yourselves. This game is unforgiving, and we have to make sure we're ready to go at Fleetwood, and we will be.
Heartbreak at the end then at Fratton Park, but the boys were back on the bus later in the week to head up to the Fylde Coast to take on Fleetwood Town. Here's what happened.
Scowen, now Hanlon finds Phillips, neat feet, puts it out wide to Boys. Boys goes for goal, beaten away by Lynch. Boys gets another go, does he? Volleys it into the box, looking for Hanlon, headed clear by Hennigan. Taylor gets away from Ansalia. Left hand side, bundles over his man, and the play continues. He's inside the box. Taylor, Hanlon drops to Scowen, just wide of the post, nearly 2 in 2 for Josh Scowen. Wycombe Wanderers looking really dangerous here, and Scowen from the edge of the penalty area went for placement, side-footed. Scowen versus Earl, finds it in, and it's onto the... It's in! Oh. Somehow that's in! Dale Taylor! Wow, what a header from him! I was trying to work out how Scowen got the cross in. It was a glancing header from the narrowest of narrow angles, and Dale Taylor lobs it over Jay Lynch. She was statuesque. There was a moment of silence, and then the net bulged ever so gently. But it counts as a wonderful goal for Dale Taylor. Fleetwood 0, Wycombe 1. Taylor's on the run, controls brilliantly, takes it out wide, controls it back to Hanlon, edge of the area. Hanlon centrally placed now, feeds it through to Potts, scores! Freddie Potts with his second goal for Wycombe Wanderers. Brilliant play from Wycombe, the long ball down the middle, the control from Taylor exquisite, the reverse pass to Hanlon superb, the layoff to Potts, and Potts' finish drew the keeper and slammed it into the net. 2-0. Scowen into the box, looking to find Taylor. Potts, lovely ball to Taylor. Taylor's through on goal and scores, and Wycombe do have the third. Freddie Potts, the architect, and the clinical finish coming from Dale Taylor. Wycombe Wanderers playing some fantastic stuff here and rewarding the travelling fans and those of you listening and watching at home as well. Fleetwood 0, Wycombe 3. Triple sub from Lee Johnson of Fleetwood at half-time has seen Fleetwood put in an improved performance, which, not difficult. Wycombe Wanderers have been excellent. Junior, cross comes in low. Oh, and there is the goal. Marriott scores. Junior fired it low into the penalty area. Marriott turns it right-footed into the back of the net, and Marriott picks up the ball and runs to the fans and says, "Come on, guys, you've got to lift us." Potts slides in and wins the ball for Wycombe. Well, finds Patton and gives it back to Potts. Potts then into Phillips. Phillips to Hanlon. Hanlon running through. Hanlon is fouled by Hennigan. Oh, and Hennigan's in trouble here. He's been booked already. And he's off. I did say about the red card stats in this game about Fleetwood and the referee. Hennigan there giving the referee no choice whatsoever because the foul on Hanlon, he was through on goal. Didn't seem to be an attempt to play the ball. And it's an early shower for Ben Hennigan in the 63rd minute. Free kick, Luke Leahy. Up and over the wall and scores! Luke Leahy with an absolute belter. His third of the season. And with free kicks, you don't get to retake them, so you stick them straight in the top corner. Fantastic stuff from Luke Leahy. Fleetwood 1, Wycombe 4. McCleary benefits from some good play from Scowen. And now Sadlier, edge of the area, he's through on goal. Cuts it onto his right. Great save. Gaff McCleary controls. And it's blocked brilliantly by Earl. Wycombe invaded the fifth. Not once but twice there. Full-time whistle goes, bang on the 6 minutes, and it's a great away day for Wycombe Wanderers. They led 3-0 at half-time. In the second half, Fleetwood pegged them back to 3-1, but then had a man sent off, and from the resulting free kick, Luke Leahy sealed the points with a delicious left-footed strike. Goals in the first half from Dale Taylor on 20 minutes, Potts on 34, Dale Taylor again on 40 minutes. Wonderful stuff from the Chairboys throughout. And they head back down on the very long journey home with 3 points in their pocket and a spring in their step. Gaffer, 4-1 scoreline away from home. Talk us through the performance.
Yeah, I kind of, I just said to the boys in the change room, I kind of feel like it was coming a little bit. We've been really pleased and proud of the way we performed away from home at Charlton and Portsmouth, and got absolutely nothing for our endeavours. So, I asked the boys to bounce back strong today after Tuesday night. And they certainly did that in the first half. The energy and the forward play that we played with, the pressing and the way we cut through Fleetwood on a number of occasions, I was obviously really proud. I have to say that I'm so pleased and thankful to our owner Rob, who called me earlier in the week and offered for us to come and have a 2-night lead into the game, because usually we'll come away on a Friday night for a long trip, but we actually came away Thursday because busy week, busy schedule, late night coming back from Portsmouth, and the numbers that we put in Tuesday night were off the scale. So a massive thank you to Rob for putting, for backing what we're doing and really supporting us in that. And not only is it just the prep for the game, I really feel like the social time for the boys to bond and come together was really, really good. So I'd like to say a massive thank you to him for that.
3 rotations coming into this, 2 up top as well, and they really paid off. It seemed to catch Fleetwood by surprise.
Yeah, quite possibly. I mean, I think Vokesy and GMAC, along with Brands, have been real top over the last few games, really, really top. But we just felt off the back of that long week and the numbers we put in Tuesday night that it was the right thing just to freshen it up. We brought Dale and Kiddy into the club because we felt that they could contribute in a big way, and today felt like the right moment to rotate slightly. So really pleased with what they've put in, and it's given me plenty of headaches going into Peterborough because we wanted to have a squad that was really, really competitive, and I think we've kind of got that at the moment.
Joe Lowe coming in at the back as well, and he just continues to look class in a Wycombe shirt.
Yeah, again, Keezy, I must say how good he was Saturday and Tuesday. I thought Keezy was really, really top in both of those games. But again, the travelling, the long week, and opportunity to give Joe a game here. I must say that the discussions with Keezy, GMAC and Vokesy and the way they've put into this week and accepted of the decisions was shows their class of the lads. And the way they've contributed to today, even though they didn't start, can't be underestimated. So really pleased with a lot of aspects that have gone into this week, and obviously pleased to be taking 3 points back down the road.
And the quality of all the goals was excellent, very different goals, but Luke Leahy's strike as well, top draw.
Yeah, very good. Lukey's got that in the bag. I've been feeling like he's been due one. He's had a couple of attempts recently, a couple of sighters, and we're really pleased with what Lukey's done since he's come into the building, both on the pitch and off the pitch. He's a real lively character. He's a real leader, and all the goals were top. Dalo's got his 2. Freddie took his with real class as well, and I can't have this interview without saying a massive thank you to the supporters as well, coming all the way up to Fleetwood. They weren't here when we won in COVID, but it was. I thought they were incredible today, and last 2 away games they've been fantastic, and haven't had any points to take home with them. But I hope they enjoyed that today.
And a real underlining of the change of strategy for the club in the summer, because the low knees really coming to the fore today.
Yeah, it's Yeah, obviously we had to really think long and hard in our strategy transfer-wise over the summer. We've spoken before about how we're living within our means. We can't outlive what we are as a football club, but we really felt like getting some elite performers in from higher clubs would help complement the group. We've got some incredible senior players already at the club, and we felt like bringing in some elite younger lads from Premier League clubs would help complement each other. So it's small baby steps. We're certainly not going to get carried away, but obviously we're really pleased with the way the group's starting to gel together.
Long journey home, but before the international break, we've got the EFL Trophy game away at Stevenage. What does that fixture look like now in terms of preparation?
Yeah, obviously we're missing a few bodies. We need to make sure that we count the knocks from today. We've had a real tough week, and a few players who have been higher on their numbers than others, so we have to make sure that we don't overcook a few of them. But it's obviously an opportunity for a couple of the lads who have been finishers recently to get more added minutes. A couple of the boys just to we're still implementing what we're trying to do, and we're still a long way from where we want to be, so it's another opportunity to keep get cohesion as a group going together and make sure everyone gets plenty of minutes. So we want to go and win, we want to win the game, but Stevenage have got a really strong squad. I think they've recruited really, really well over the summer, and we know Steve's had a great start to the season, so we will look forward to the game and make sure we're ready to go.
Dale, cracking afternoon for the team and for yourself. 2 goals, what do you reckon?
No, obviously it's unreal to score 2 goals. Obviously I was out from injury there for the past 3 weeks, but no, to get back on the pitch again, and obviously big credit to the gaffer putting his trust in me to play and start. But no, it was brilliant, and really enjoyed playing in front of the fans again.
Talk us through that first goal, because from the commentary box especially, we were scratching our heads until we saw the replay. How you did it? How did you flick it in from that angle?
See, to be honest, I actually don't know, but I knew it was going to come in, and I thought if it just got contact on it, that there's a chance it could go in, or it's a chance for the lads following in behind me. But thankfully I did get a touch on it and it went in, but I honestly don't know how.
Did you know it was going in once you headed it? Because there was a moment of sort of calm around as everyone watched the ball loop up. Wasn't sure if it was going to land it or not. Did you know?
Well, when I looked back, I seen the keeper sort of hesitate, and I was wondering what he was doing because it wasn't that high. Do you know what I mean? But no, as soon as I seen him hesitate, I was thinking this is in, it's a chance, and thankfully it was.
Second goal. Talk about that pass from Freddie Potts, because it really opened up the back line.
Oh, what a top player, honestly. Freddie flipping. I just knew, as soon as he took a touch, and if I screamed loud enough and called his name, that he would have found me. He does that constant training, them sort of passes, and thankfully he did, and I tucked it away for the second one.
You were on for that second half for a lot of it as well, and you were buzzing around. We were all hoping you were going to get a hat-trick, but it didn't quite drop for you.
No, it didn't. I thought I was onside there for the chance the keeper made the save, but I wasn't onside. But no, I'm still happy to get 2, and obviously playing in front of the fans, the away fans, is amazing, so it's a big credit to them.
And a great way to bounce into the international break as well, to represent your country high in confidence.
Yeah, I can't wait to go. Obviously I missed the last one through the injury, but no, obviously me being from Northern Ireland, I'm really excited to go away with them again.
Luke, an excellent away day, 4-1 win and a goal for yourself.
Yeah, brilliant afternoon for everyone involved. To come up here and be 3-0 up at half time is it's a tough task in itself. So to do it here and to put on that type of performance is excellent for the boys. Yeah.
We'll get to your goal in a minute, but let's talk about those 3 first half goals. Yeah. 3 excellent team goals from great football.
Yeah, definitely, and Dale just makes that run all the time, and we see it in training across the front post, and it sort of looped, and I think me and Lowy sort of looked at each other as the ball in the air, getting ready set for a goal kick, and all of a sudden it just dropped in, and we were like, happy days. So and then the second and third goal, Potsy, unbelievable today. It feels like all the new signings are starting to click and know their role, and even he didn't score or an assist today, but Killian Phillips in the first half as well was everywhere, landing on second balls, putting himself about, and so special mention to him as well. And everything just clicked, didn't it? They had a few chances in the first half that we weren't happy about, but to come here and sitting there at half time and be 3-0 up, we can't complain.
I've just said to the gaffer it felt like a really big underlining of the change of strategy for Wycombe Wanderers, with the low knees really playing a big part today. Yeah,
definitely. There was a change in the front 3 up top, and their energy and their willing to run sort of helped us, and as back lads, knowing that we can squeeze up the pitch and see them running off to channels to get the ball, it was excellent, and credit to them boys up front, but credit to everyone. I think we left Wycombe Thursday to travel up here, and the preparation has just showed that was excellent, and it's paid off.
How's those days been? The gaffer said it was obviously hard work with the training, but also time away together as well.
Yeah, definitely. We didn't get that in pre-season. Some teams got it, by going away, and our team was, it was an early settle, sort of, like we got the signings in, but we haven't had that. So, yeah, it was excellent. We've had a laugh, we've had serious training sessions and everything. So, yeah, it's been good.
Time to brush up on any more impressions of the squad?
No comment.
Well, let's talk about your goal. We can't not talk about that. The thing with the free kick is you can't get it retaken, so I guess you have to score it first time, right?
Yeah, take it, won't I? But the boys have been on at me a little bit, to finally stick one in the back of the net. And as soon as I seen the wall set up, and I think it was Killian and Dale with me, I said if them two on the tallest two stand on the outside of the wall, then I know where I'm going, and the keeper give me quite a bit of room. So I thought, get it over the wall and get it under the bar. It's got a good chance of going in, and just delighted to hit the back of the net and celebrate with the travelling fans.
Yeah, the fans were fantastic today. It's a huge journey for you guys, but also for them as well, and they made a hell of a lot of noise today.
Absolutely, and we think it's been tough for us, travelling down to Portsmouth on a Tuesday night and travelling up here. It's even more difficult for them because they've got work and whatnot. So a credit to each and every single one of them, and just delighted that we can send them home down the road with 3 massive points.
The gaffer, Dale Taylor and Luke. But what did the Fleetwood fans think after the game? Here's the opposition view. Rob Cobb.
Outclassed in every department today. Stormy waters lie ahead, I fear.
Nappers.
Fleetwood were humiliated at home as Wycombe hit 4 at Highbury. We slumped to one of the worst displays I've seen in years. Oh, and I thought the 200 Wycombe fans were immense.
Ryan Riches.
Having watched us play Wycombe over the years, you know what to expect. A big, physical set of lads. It was boys against men today. It's beyond me why we knocked the ball about with no real endeavour. We put the ball in the box from out wide probably twice, and we scored from one and nearly scored from the other. Surely the answer is there, because trying to pass the ball into the net certainly isn't the answer.
Archie Crooks.
We might have just had 2 wins in a row, but normal service resumed today with another drubbing.
Fleetwood Flyer.
On Tuesday, we celebrated beating Cheltenham as though we'd won the FA Cup. But those 2 wins were against poor teams.
Cod aplenty.
So much for our mini revival. We were outplayed and outfought all over the pitch by a really good team. They will be well up there come the end of the season, and we could well be down the other end. It was too easy at times for Wycombe as they cut through our measly defence with ease. Positives? Well, the weather was kind, even if the team weren't.
Harvey Poland.
Bloody awful today, but I have to say Lynch was the worst of them all. He could have done better for 3 of the 4 goals, the first being the most shocking. I think it's about time one of the other keepers got a chance to prove himself. Lynch just doesn't cut it anymore.
Nick Robinson.
I couldn't tell what happened with the first goal. It looked like it was going on the roof of the net, and the next minute it was in. The free kick did seem to go down the middle too, but you can't single out the keeper. Everyone was awful. We tried to play it out from the back, and are dreadful on the ball, so it's not going to work.
Ian Clare.
I thought we were lucky to only ship 4 goals today, if I'm honest. We're clearly not good enough.
Jono Nibhook.
Wycombe are our bogey team, and they're going for the playoffs for a reason. Any point would have been a bonus today.
Yes, it's that time of the show again where we ask a Wycombe fan to give us something old, something new, something borrowed and something blue. This week it's Wycombe fan Graham Deakin. Enjoy. Okay, victim number 3 for Till Death Us Do Part. As we all know, choosing your football club is like a marriage. It's for life, for richer, for poorer, you name it. The ups and downs. It's all about football, and it's perfect metaphor for life. Joining us this week is Wycombe Wanderers fan Graham Deakin, or I've now been corrected, Dr Graham Deakin. Now that's the first question, Graham. It's not like Dr Fox, is it? You're a real doctor.
Well, kind of real doctor, yes, I suppose. If I was on an aeroplane and someone had a medical procedure, I couldn't help them. I'm not that kind of doctor. I've got a PhD with, I'm a doctor of philosophy of football from the International Football Institute. Believe it or not.
This sounds very grand, and
does,
maybe overqualifies you for this feature, but we'll continue.
Okay. Cool.
Right. How long have you been a Wycombe fan?
Well, that's a tricky question in a way. You'll see from talking about what we're going to talk about. I'm probably going to say 2005, but I saw Wycombe plenty before that. I'll explain in a minute, I guess.
Okay, well then let's crack on, shall we? So we always start with something old. Your favourite ever Wycombe Wanderers memory?
Yeah, I mean, there are so many. I am old, as you know, because I'm a retired university lecturer. I was at Lokes Park in 75 for the Middlesbrough game. That's how old I am.
Wow.
Which was amazing. They were literally, as a few of us know, top of the pyramid that day. And we were, well, way down. Jack Charlton was on the touchline. He'd won the World Cup 8 years beforehand, for goodness sake. And he was at Lokes Park, It was bonkers. What a great day. What a great day that was. And there've been so many, haven't there? Villa Park for the semi-final, going 3-2 up at White Hart Lane, the Chelsea semi. You can just keep listing them. And I was going to say, until last week's show, I was going to talk about Torquay, because I was standing next to you as well. I think everybody claimed to have been standing next to Phil Catspaw when the whistle went, but I definitely believe I was, and that was just unbelievable. But I'm not going to go Torquay, therefore. I said that 2005 was when I really fell in love with the club. I've been supporting with I've been flirting before that, I guess. I'd lived away, and I got to a few games, but you can't choose who you fall in love with, can you, Phil? And I'm going to go 2005 season, strange old game, Wycombe 3, Aston Villa 8, which was just madness. I think that was Gourmania at its craziest. We went 3-1 up that night, didn't we? That was a big mistake for a start. We were absolutely knackered at halftime. I watched them come off the pitch. I tend to sit in the beach, Dean, and I watched them come off, and they could barely make it to the change room, I think. And we poked the bear, and or the lion, I suppose they are, aren't they? And they came out in the second half, having obviously got a roasting in the dressing room, and absolutely ran rings round us. Gareth Barry got a couple. James Milner got a couple. But it didn't matter. I was in love. It was just a fantastic night, and to get thrashed and still absolutely love the club and applaud them off. And I think everyone there that night just thought, this is just madness, but what a wonderful time. So that's the day I knew that I couldn't choose who I'd fallen in love with. I was smitten.
It sounds like you had quite a long courtship. There's a bit of a gap between mid-70s and 2005.
There's certainly. I'd actually gone and lived in New York for a while. Before that, I'd gone away to university. And you know what? Back in those early days, Phil, I mean, I went to John Hampden, and no one really supported Wycombe Wanderers. People supported Division 1 teams, I guess, mostly London clubs, if they like football at all. And there was all that trouble in the 80s and hooliganism and all that. And I just didn't go. I kind of missed out on the Martin O'Neill years, which is, to my disappointment, I guess, looking back. But I was away. I was working in London, and it wasn't really on the radar. It was when I moved back to the area, really, that I got back in touch with the club, I guess.
And of course, simpler times where if it doesn't matter where you are in the world these days, you can watch the game, you can follow on Twitter, you can get whatever, you can see replays. after the final whistle, etc. Back in those days, I guess if you were in New York, you were picking up a newspaper maybe a couple of days after the game, even.
Absolutely. I would go around to a mate's house who was a Leeds fan, and it was sort of mid-evening in New York, and he'd sort of go on to Netscape or something and dial up, and we'd find the reports of various Premier League games. They actually showed the Premier League the following Friday at 4:00 in the afternoon on some obscure Spanish-speaking channel. It was very different times, definitely.
Going back to the Villa game, now we had the pleasure of John Gorman's company with us last Saturday at Adams Park, and that game came up in conversation. And the thing I love about John, the glint in the eye, you never know if he's really joking or not. He does love a laugh. He talked about that game, and he said if Nathan Sison hadn't got injured, we'd have won that comfortably.
yeah, right. Brilliant.
Fantastic.
He's a wonderful man.
Wonderful man, John Gorman, and some wonderful memories, and your greatest Wycombe memories. So that's a great place to start.
Where I fell in love, Yeah.
It all happens to us. Something new. Your favourite member of the current squad?
Okay. I'll answer your question directly. I think my favourite member of the current squad is probably got to be GMAC, because he's different gravy, as we say, in the world of academia. No, he's. I mean, and this season, I mean, I'm sure there's a painting of him sitting in some sort of loft somewhere, because he seems to be getting younger and younger. Fantastic. His fitness levels, but his skill level at our level is superb. I just, I like exciting players on the ball, and he's one of those players that when he gets the ball, you're out your seat immediately thinking something's going to happen. So he's definitely my man. Although I've got to say, some of the new signings, fantastic. Leahy and Lowe, fantastic. One or two of the other boys, finding their feet. It's great. I think the squad is really strong. I mean, one of the things I do like about fandom at the moment amongst the faithful, if you like, is that sense of expectation. I think that's a positive. I like the fact that people think, we're pushing for promotion every year. We're close to being up there in the 5th biggest league in the world. And sometimes it might tip over into a little bit of a sense of entitlement. But if my 16-year-old self watching the odd Isthmian League game could imagine that we'd be playing the sort of teams we are playing and playing the sort of football we're playing, it's unbelievable. They're great times. We should really embrace the moment, because it's wonderful.
And to bring this back to Gareth McCleary as well, and to frame this in your journey with the club, this is a guy that's played over 30 times for Jamaica. His country's graced the Premier League. He made his international debut at the Azteca Stadium against Mexico. And this is a guy that turns it on for Wycombe Wanderers week in, week out. I mean, I have to pinch myself sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, it's a privilege. It's a privilege to have him at the club, and one or two others as well. Vokesy, people have played at the top of the game, and one or two people who, were it not for the odd injury or whatever, would also have made it big. And it's just. I mean, I'm lost for words. Really, if you actually stand back and analyse it, how fortunate we are to have these players in the squad at the moment.
Absolutely. And one of the biggest things of recent times off the pitch, him making Oxford Council cut the grass on his childhood estate so kids could play football as well. I thought that was making front page news, I think, on the Oxford Mail. A Wycombe Wanderer doing that. Who would have thought that as well?
Fantastic. In touch with his roots, and that's important. And that's what I love. I mean, this whole recruitment policy of people who've got their feet on the ground and are good off the pitch as well as on. It is a testimony to the sort of club we are. And again, we should be really proud of that. We're not just, glory seekers. There's some bad eggs out there, bad apples out there in the game. And we're very fortunate not to have any of them wandering around our place.
Now, if GMAC was to score a hat-trick before the end of the season, in tribute, would you watch a game, no matter what time of year, without your shirt on?
No one wants to see that, let me tell you. No one wants.
Okay, we'll leave it there. On to something borrowed. Your favourite ever loanee or player you wish that we'd have signed, no matter how controversial.
Okay, I'm going to take a slightly tangential view on this, if it's all right. I've had to think about it, and I think the obvious answer is it's a loanee. The obvious answer is it Mawson? Is it Eze? You know, both brilliant. But I'm going to take a bit of a different tack, if that's all right.
Of course,
doesn't quite answer your question, but anyway, I'm going back to the 13-14 season, and I'm going Michael Merriman.
Okay,
who is Michael Merriman? Michael Merriman was the Mansfield kit man who forgot to pack their kit for the men. What a guy! So, you know, Sir Colin Daniel scores a borrowed black away kit. The Gas had to lend them their kit. And obviously that borrowed kit helps secure our future and their demise. It's horse-punchingly hilarious, I would say.
So we should have given Michael Merriman the position of kit man at Wycombe Wanderers out of sheer gratitude, I guess.
I don't know what he's doing now in the game, but I think an honorary session. I mean, maybe you could interview him in the Legends Lounge, because he is a legend as far as I'm concerned.
Well, up until this point, to my shame, I had no idea who this person was. I knew the story. Of course, I knew the story, but I'd never dug deep into finding who was responsible for leaving the kit behind. It always amazes me that once a season, a team has some kind of faux pas on this level where you think this is Sunday League. It was brilliantly Sunday League from our point of view. And of course, for Mansfield's as well. So Michael Merriman, if you're listening to this, and as we always say, there's no good reason why you shouldn't be, get in contact. We'd love to speak to you.
I think Michael Merriman Day might be one for the marketing team in the future. Yeah.
Well, I'm jumping onto LinkedIn after this to track him down. We're onto something that will always be a talking point, I think, amongst our fan base. Classic merchandise, and also a merchandise idea that the club is missing a trick on. What have you got for us?
Okay, I'm going to tell a story against myself here. I think we should have Wycombe Wanderers branded "Keep Off the Grass" signs available for everyone who's got that lovely green sward out the back of their house that looks just like the playing surface at Adams Park these days. I think a "Keep Off the Grass" sign would be a good idea in Oxford and Cambridge blue, obviously. And the reason for my choice, Phil, is I've got a letter here. I don't know if you can see it. It's Wycombe Wanderers branded letter. It's dated Monday, the 5th of February 2018. Ring any bells? That weekend.
I know where you're going with this. Yeah.
Do you? Can I? Would you rather?
Please do. This is great. This is what this is all about.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So I think the previous Saturday, the 3rd, was the Beam with the Shot day. And most people got a T-shirt, didn't they? I was there after that game. Well, I almost got a banning order from the club under the Football Offences Act 1991, as this letter says. Not something a man in his 60s should be proud of, is it? But there you go. If you can't tell a story against yourself, there you go. I sit in the beach team. We'd gone 3-3, hadn't we, in the dying moments of the game, and it was fantastic. And I'd gone down on the rail like any good Beach Dean stand fan does, and I found myself wandering down towards the tunnel to cheer the boys off after a heroic comeback. And then Marcus scores, and to this day, completely inexplicably, I found myself on the pitch with jumping up and down like a lunatic. I think Matt Cecil had actually gone onto the pitch to do a bit of filming, and I just followed him, on there like a sheep, and suddenly I'm being bundled back over the rail by the stewards, and people are asking to see my ticket and my name and address, and absolutely ridiculous behaviour on my part. So not clever, not funny. I don't condone it in any way, but there you go. Mr. Riley did actually write in his letter, and I quote, We want all fans to come and enjoy the game and support the team, but we expect that to be done in a decent way, which stays on the right side of the law. And you can't argue with a word that he said there, can you? But of course, that's not true of the glory days back at Logues Park when we were on the pitch all the time. I mean, if you see the end of that Middlesbrough game, there were 12,000 in the ground, weren't there? I think there must have been about 10,000 on the pitch. But it's not. We were even on the pitch for that terrible 2-1 loss at home when we got promoted under Peter Taylor, that last game of the season, and people kind of walked on the pitch like, oh, is that it? We're up, are we? But those days have gone. They're long gone, and that pitch is now so immaculate that quite rightly we should all stay back and applaud and cheer the boys from our seats.
Well, I think that's an excellent addition to the club shop, especially when it's attached to your story. And I trust you've behaved yourself since that day.
Oh God, absolutely. And my cage was well and truly rattled. I mean, I'm led to believe actually that had certain people that I do know in the club not intervened at the Monday morning meeting, that banning order might well have been invoked. So I got away with one there, Phil. I really did.
Were you a doctor back then as well?
Yes, it's ridiculous. It's embarrassing. Yeah.
I don't know why that just adds an extra level of lunacy to this story. I love that.
You can't choose who you fall in love with, and sometimes the passion overtakes you, doesn't it? And you do crazy things,
Well, was it Doctor of Philosophy of Football? Is that right?
I'm a Doctor of Philosophy. Yeah. My PhD is in the cultural history of football. Yeah.
Well, I think a banning order from a club just adds to the weight of that qualification, because it shows you've really kind of investigated all areas of the game.
Exactly, grassroots from the bottom up. That it's social history. That's what the game's really all about. Yeah.
Graham, I wanted to do a big exclusive reveal at the end of this to reward people for getting through to the end of the podcast. Now, the rhythm of your voice sounds a little familiar to me. Is there anywhere we would have heard your work before?
Well, I don't know about that, Phil. It could have come from somewhere. I'm not sure. Anyway, Charlton. Yes, yes. You probably. Yes. You know full well who and where I am in this this whole thing of ours.
It's a pleasure to unveil the regional accents department on Ringing the Blues. No better place to do so, I guess. But yeah, thank you for all your immaculate work down the years.
You're very kind. It's great fun, isn't it? And I think some of the away fans have got a little bit more reasonable in the past. I like it when they completely lose it and and go completely mental. We need a few more of those sort of unhinged fans, I think, to try and find what they're up to these days. It all seems very.
I often think when the final whistle goes, and if Wycombe have won, especially on the road, and if they've been backs against the wall, I'm already kind of like hugely anticipating the work of Vital Len, who collates the comments so brilliantly, knowing they're going to be fantastic. But yeah, some of them this season have been slightly sort of laissez-faire, and especially if the opposition is so bad themselves, the fans tend to be a bit more self-indulgent and sort of bemoan their own misfortune rather than blaming us. But yeah, I think there will be some more days, some good days. I'm anticipating a win against Derby County this season, which I'd imagine would be absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, they'll lose it, won't they? Yeah, they'll lose it. I'll tell you what I think it is, though, Phil. I think it's the fact that opposition fans are respecting us as a club a bit more. I think, with their legitimately pushing, that they all say, oh, they'll be pushing for promotion, and all the old hoofball stuff. It's there now and again, but really, that's not the story anymore. So again, going back to the earlier discussion, we're lucky to be, watching in these wonderful times.
Indeed, we are, and I'm sure the keen followers of your work would have noticed that Ipswich Town have departed, because I've got your stronger suit, more the west. As we move east across the country, you tended to struggle somewhat, which I think added to the hilarity of the feature. Well,
of course, you can do Plymouth, can't you? Exeter, that's no problem. You're just Jethro, aren't you? So no problem at all. The problem with the East, and I can't disagree with you on the East, is there are so few reference points for that lot over there, and yes, I'm not very good at it. I'm not even going to try it now on air because, it takes about 5 retakes to get something that's just bad as opposed to dreadful. So
well, we very much appreciate, on behalf of all the listeners, we very much appreciate your work. And finally, after however many 100 episodes we've done now, I think we're over 130 episodes of Ringing the Blues, believe it or not, most of which have featured your good self. Thank you very much, and we can publicly show our gratitude. So thank you.
Cheers. No problem.
Right, that's your lot for this week. Many thanks to Graham Deakin, aka the Regional Accents Department, to Luke Leahy, to Dale Taylor, to Matt Bloomfield, and you guys for listening in. We'll be back next week, even though there's no game because of the international break. Come on, you Blues.